My wife and I were checking out the Tek RMD new machine for paraplegics so they can, stand up. I saw it this morning. I saw that it was available, and so I thought that was kind of cool. I looked at, my wife actually looked at some of the comments, and somebody said around 15,000 was about how much it cost. It's probably going to cost about 15,000, which is quite a bit cheaper than the ReWalk or the Elegs thing, as far as I know. And this Tek RMD thing, what it does is you use your arms to pull yourself up into a standing position. There's a strap that goes underneath your bottom, and I think it's, I wonder, initially I just wonder if that strap, if I could modify that, if I could use my own cushion that I sit on in my wheelchair and use that as a strap. Of course, I would have to put like Velcro straps on it or something like that, so that it would be able to, so that I could hook it into the machine and so that it could pull me around, or so that I could stay standing. You have a belt, and there's a couple ratchets on the front where you can tighten up and pull the belt that's around the seat. You can pull the belt towards your towards your bottom, so that you can actually be snug up against the front, because it's, instead of a back brace like we normally have in a wheelchair, it's actually a front brace. So you're going to have the strap seat around your bottom, but then there's nothing really holding your back. But the only thing that's really holding your back, I guess, is your back does not bend that way. So that's why you probably wouldn't fall backwards. And another reason why you wouldn't fall backwards is because this thing weighs about 125 pounds. So, which is a heck of a lot more than the ReWalk or the Elegs. As far as I remember, the ReWalk weighed about 45 pounds or 40 pounds, and I don't know how much the Elegs weigh. But if this weighs 145 pounds or 125 pounds, then you would pretty much use it around the house, I would imagine. Around the house, getting around the house. I wouldn't recommend taking it, to any places like a grocery store or a mall or anything like that. You move about 2 miles an hour. And I guess that a human being on average walks about 2 miles an hour. So, you're not super fast, you're not super slow, you're just average speed. And it looks pretty easy from what I saw. There's a T7 injury guy that is in the Tek RMD video, and he's been disabled for 5 years. So, there's so many different injury levels, and there's so many different, well, I need this, or well, I need that, or well, my back is broken in this place, or my leg is not working in this spot, or I have a Harrington rod here, or whatever. But so what I'm saying is he's only been 5 years injured, and he's a T7 which is a pretty high, decently high injury, and he's getting around pretty good. Of course, he has that pretty good leg stance. You can tell that he's paraplegic though because his legs are pretty darn skinny. That's one reason, one of the main tellers that I can tell if somebody's paraplegic is if their legs are pretty darn skinny. But it could be different. Their legs could be fat because they have spasms and their muscles always get contractions and things like that. So their legs are kind of bulked up. They're quite muscular. So it doesn't really matter. Some skinny legs, some fat legs, it doesn't matter. But from what I see, is this, it's a pretty good machine. It's about $15,000, which is quite a bit cheaper than the ReWalk. And I like that. I think it was developed in Turkey or something. I'm not sure. And I don't think it's on the market just yet. But to me, I would be interested in, like some cars you can rent. You can use them for a couple days, or to, like, if you want to go to Disneyland, then you can rent a vehicle in Disneyland, and then you can drive around. Well, for a couple days, then what I would like to do with this machine is I would like to be able to rent it, for like, what's it, $50 or $100 a day or something like that. Of course, I would like to rent it for like $50 instead, but a day. But that way I could see how well it maneuvers around in my house. The back looks like it kind of sticks out a little bit, but probably no more than your chair would anyway. So as far as it's about 3 feet wide, and probably about, I would say, 4 feet long. So that makes it kind of confining to turn around in small spots. There's a couple things that I am wondering about, and my wife was wondering about, is if it does weigh 125 pounds, how would you get it in the car? How difficult would it be to get into the car? Would you have to have a van to roll up into the van with? To use this machine to roll up into the van with. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen any demonstrations of how you would transport it in your vehicle. And another thing is, how would you go to the bathroom? Well, I guess you probably would just, go into the stall, the bathroom stall, and then you would just kind of lower yourself onto the toilet, and then, urinate in a sitting position. But it looks kind of interesting, and I like the price. I like that the price is going down. It was with the ReWalk, it was a whole lot of, well, it was very expensive, and then with the Elegs, it was quite expensive too. But then with the this Tek RMD thing, it looks like it's going to be $15,000, quite a bit cheaper. And so, preferably it would be nice to get a wheelchair, well, something that would be an exoskeleton that you could walk with, that would be, preferably around $8,000 or around $5,000, whatever it costs for a regular wheelchair, a regular lightweight wheelchair, and then preferably it would be even better to have your insurance pay for it. Would Medicare pick it up? Would your insurance pick it up? pick up the bill, and then you would have to pay a 20% copay or something like that. But